especially as of late, thanks to COVID-19. But qualifying for a multitude of other leagues, they are pretty dang confident that when they start heating up, they will start frying in this league.
It's a matter of time, I think, before they really kind of get over that hurdle. And let's be honest, some of the teams that they've played in the Midwest Division and the CCL might not be the strongest. So take a good look to see what they're able to offer here. Again, they're going under the name of the Indianapolis Kingsmen here as their organization. First couple of trades going back and forth have not really influenced the Kingsmen to get through this warehouse, let alone try to influence the second point spawns. Although I say that, and Trauma finds his way through the OE, so that could provide for some interesting opportunity, but as soon as the door gets busted through, he will fall. And just like that, it's going to be Allied GG off to a good start as they get a lot of time here in this first hill, and they've retained their spawns.
Yeah, that's right. It's all about just retaining those spawns for P2, but what's even more emphatic is getting some time here on P1. This could really put Kingsmen on the back burner, not necessarily what they could be expecting. Some kills trading off here, however, it's still going to end up going into favor for Allied GG. They're still in firm control here, trying their best to work on this hard point. Just for scrap is the Kingsmen. But you got to be really worried about that rotation over to P2 as well. The spawn's still in the favor for Allied GG. They still have good control in and around the tire shop. And as a hard point, it's about to be rotating on over. Kingsmen with these kills look to get an early break forward.
Again, a little 50-50, nice little three-piece being put up by the white truck on the outside here, trying to hold on, and that will be enough for Allied GG to retain those P2 spots. And again, try to build up towards what would be a close to full 60 seconds. Equinox still finding a number of kills on the map. Again, just running around through this parking lot, through the bottom side of the warehouse, and it looks like the rest of the time will go in favor of Allied GG. It's the Indianapolis Kingsmen are sitting and just kind of played in the middle of the map, but they have led an opening through this warehouse for Allied GG to potentially work towards this third hard point. So they're going to have to find a way to deal with the pressure, and it looks like Megatron has found a couple of kills to assist in that effort.
Control. Warehouse is going to make that rotation all the more easier, but Allied GG, I mean, they have a really good buffer here thus far, winning a decent amount off of P1 comparatively to P2, again, where they started off on that favorite side of the map. Crook and a little bit of a 1v1 inside the office. It's going to get some help to be able to come out on top of that one. The rotation over to the hard point is about to be coming through over towards the smokestack as it currently resides. Kingsmen are getting this initial time where Allied GG are still getting control of this warehouse. It's got to be able to turn these kills towards in the map pressure, but with Kingsmen in a certain series of power positions, they definitely need this going on forward here, Alan. All things considered, they're playing from far behind.
I personally, again, for production, I can't see what exactly is going on because we don't have a full screen feed going on, so if we could change that, that'd be wonderful. But in the Dallas Kingsmen, there we go, that's much better. They're going to be looking to try to contest for the final 20 seconds here of this scrap time, but they're spawning a little bit further out than they'd like, as you're going to see Allied GG working their way through the back warehouse. That's going to secure themselves what will eventually be the P5 spawns, but had they done it a touch too early, because even though the Kingsmen will not find themselves the final 20 seconds worth of time on the scrap, they have put themselves in a position to lock down this P4 early.
Going to have to do their best to at least favor for the rotations. Playing from about 50 points behind so far, or about 40 or so. Now Kingsmen at least get a little bit of breathing room here inside the office. They are turning this into initial hardpoint time. Great shots there from Equinox to be able to rip the head right off Red Chase. However, Megatron be able to turn this back into 2 before getting gunned down themselves. Red Chase is able to find Equinox. Kingsmen getting a lot of good hill time here off of P4 and going on forward. They're going to have to be able to worry about, again, what we were looking at going in the first rotation from P1 to 2 here shifts. Allied GG are going to be able to get that break going forward, and they're still getting spawns over towards P5.
Yeah, this was a mistake from Kingsmen. Everyone off the spawn that was back by the broken house just essentially all funnel into the hard point. Nobody zones the middle of the map, and the Kingsmen realize their folly, but it's too late. So that's actually a very significant break for Allied GG. It's going to be 30 seconds worth of time that they're looking to soak up. Nick is able to take down 2, make it 3 inside the hill. That'll be essentially the last fight for scrap, as there's only 4 seconds left, and the Kingsmen have to push through the office. This has not been a good start here for the Indianapolis Kingsmen. 115-82. They, of course, did not spawn to the favorite side for the second hard point, but now they've also got the task of trying to conquer this 5th hard point as well, seeing that Allied GG has been locking down spawns and are doing a really nice job of setting themselves up defensively to deal with any Kingsman pushes.
Really looking for Kingsmen to start heating up here. Megatron trying to break their way in towards the top side of the dock building. Will get gunned down. A little bit of a about 30 seconds left here on P5. Kingsmen are going to be able to get a much-needed break again. They're just trying to encroach on this lead that LIGG have really set the pace for. Good shots there onto Jez, going to get crooked right off of the hard point. Kingsmen are going to think twice about a late hit. They're actually going to be forcing themselves over towards P2, so that way they can try to get the favorite spawns going forward. There's a player over here as well. Going to come down to Nick, able to find one that's on the Megatron's, going to throw it on the trophy system, keep themselves alive. And this OE hit that we see from LIGG, this is going to influence a lot going in towards the second rotation of hardpoints.
But the problem is that the rest of his teammates are nowhere nearby here for Nick, so that's going to be Kingsman still spawning close by. I don't think they realize, though, that he's been sitting at the backside of Useless. Megatron will finally deal with him, but he's going to be challenged by one more. Fortunately, there was another player there for the Indianapolis Kingsmen to find the trade. And with that in mind, again, the first rotation, at the conclusion of that, it was a pretty significant lead for LIGG, but this is where things can really change. If the Kingsmen can find significant time here in P1 while holding on the spawns in P2, that could be the potential for their first lead swap and their first lead, actually, of the game. LIGG trying their best to work in the warehouse. Trauma from behind gets taken down before he can fully realize his flank. And now you're looking at number one coming out of the office to see if he's going to cut mid-map. And maybe this will be a good hit attempt here for LIGG to work their way across in the parking lot. All of Kingsmen, though, are meeting this on the bottom side of the minimap. Equinox for one, Jet another. And it's going to be essentially just still the hold on for the Kingsmen as they do enough to at least win the 50-50 fights and get even trades to make sure they keep spawning in P2.
Gotta be worried about here for player number 3. Starting to work their way up the pop-up. They're going to end up going on down. We're actually going to be taking a little bit of a look into how the Kingsmen are communicating with themselves, so let's go ahead and listen to their comms.
Saucy, watch out top 3, bro. Stop green. You need...
Watch out left.
Bottom garage. Saucy's dead top 3.
There's only one dude at hill. Only one dude in the hill.
I'm going there. No, hill. Steps. Two in hill, bro. We gotta start it, go. I'm pulling from the outside. Just hurry up and go top. Yo, hit that. You guys gotta hit that again. On the left side of the window. You're gonna bring a green on here.
Weakest one. Yeah, the sub.
Alright. We're good. We're only down like 70, 80.
Yeah,
Just
hope
hope
you
one there.
Yeah,
yo, what's on the AC? What's on the AC crate? If we win these
We're coming right back in. We currently do not have a feed, so waiting to see exactly what we have going on here for the score and the current status. But again, you know, the P2, a lot of the hold for P1 going into what is essentially a full-time P2 has led to what is a 212 to 135. Maybe it wasn't actually a full hold for P2, no idea. But regardless, LIGG are now spawning a little bit further out for the third hard point, and for the Kingsmen, back's absolutely up against the wall here. They're going to have to find a perfect P3 and a perfect P4, essentially, if they want to have a chance to get back into this game. As if they find the last 35 seconds, they'll still only be at about 180 points. And we know that LIGG on this hill, near the end of it, they like to try to find the break, plus the push through for those fifth spawns. So will they find similar success that they did in the first rotation?
That kill in a red chase on the top side of yellow is only going to be able to help out with that. Scrap time will be soaked up here for LIGG. Kingsmen are looking for P4. They're definitely going to have to, considering that it's only going to take a good hold onto a hard point for LIGG to be able to win out this game. Again, residing at 219 seconds, 162 there for Kingsmen. Nobody soaking up that scrap time now, but like the Shift was ended up talking about, they are okay with this, LIGG are. They're going to just force their way forward. They're going to try to enforce those spawns over towards P5, and well, they're able to do so as well, especially with player number 2 spawning in over there. Big 1v1 there for Crook is actually going to get gunned down because of it. Jet gets a snap onto Megatron as well, winning out the gunfights inside the office building for the time being. Kingsmen have no choice whatsoever. They got to keep committing resources to getting out this hard point. They have no breathing room really to play with.
Biggest mistake right now for Kingsmen against the first rotation was everybody off their spawns were hitting right into the office and just being very one-dimensional. Now if you're going to get Trauma cutting the middle of the map and trying to change up the angle just a touch. I would love to see the Kingsmen put somebody up top on the second floor, because guess where they're getting it from? Right on the backside. Paralysis gets some Bless RNG on that hipfire, which will allow them to get the kill before Equinox could escape. And that will turn into what essentially is exactly what they needed. A solid P3, a solid P4, and now Kingsmen are right back in this game. But now the biggest hurdle comes out of the fact of how do you break this fifth hard point? They weren't able to do it the last time on the first rotation of hills. They need to find a way to do it here. With a couple of kills coming to the backside of the parking lot, this very well could be their opportunity, while LIGG is spawning out by yellow, but they have to win the up-close and personal gunfights. Paralysis only for the trade. Megatron trying to work his way in will also only find one, and you're looking at just red chase and Crook to try to hold on, and neither of them are able to find a significant amount of work done. Again, just too many numbers here for Allied GG as they get above the 238 mark.
Big distraction there for player number 5. Trauma comes into the point, is able to turn that back into 2. Jets right there for the follow-up. Equinox is able to shut down Kingsmen as soon as they start pushing themselves onto the point. Crook is right there for 2 again. 29-26. Crook is currently residing as both Paralysis and Crook on the point currently, as Allied GG are going to try to force their way back on this hard point. Again, 10 seconds is all that they need. They're in control at 2:44 and 2:45, counting on up. Kingsman spawning way too far out. Stiff calling the GG as it already is entrenched onto the win. 250 to 209, Allied GG. They take hardpoint.
It was not very good. Had a chance to help them out just a touch, and they started to get a lot better just understanding where they need to be at least the beginnings of rounds. But my big question mark is, has that developed into something further? Have they built on a second or a third tier to that opening strategy that they have? We're going to get a light blue and a dark blue here. Megatron first blood. Crook would then follow up with the Semtex, and immediately for the defense, they have got themselves a 5-on-3.
Megatron going tit for tat with the sniping. Nick going to be the opposing scope for Allied GG, just waiting for somebody to peek the trench side. Well, you might not get that opportunity there, bud. 2 members down already. The bomb is being held by Saucy, though. I believe they're still trying to commit to this push here, and, well, you only have 45 seconds to be playing with, so whether you're waiting for Nick to find a pick or not, Megatron is just going to be waiting for you to show yourself. It's going to be able to be the push forward from the defensive side. Hesitation coming back to bite Allied GG in the rear. Kingsmen win out on their defense in the first round.
Helps when you get the first 2 picks.
It's definitely true.
Not a round you should lose, tell you that much. But again, for Allied GG, not much you can do in that instance. You get a counter picked, you don't find the response, and then you get the set nade right in your back pocket. That never bodes well, so they're going to have to bounce back here defensively. And again, Orklov Peak, definitely one of those maps that is heavily influenced by whoever wins the first offense. A very defensive-sided map, to say the least. And when Crook is sitting at 3-0, Megatron at 2-0, you're wondering what exactly the Kingsmen are going to offer here for their first attack. It will actually be over towards the B site. Equinox, you got to keep an eye on him as he's sitting back to the snow path. And I think there's some good information here. As gone over, we'll find first blood. Red Chase still wants to commit, and I don't really know why you're peek pushing this door. There's plenty of explosions to cover your sound, but unfortunately, he's out here kind of by himself. Trauma will find a kill, and Red Chase wants to plant this bomb, but it's by no means safe. Trauma finds a second kill. That'll open up a little bit of extra space for him to get the bomb down more safely. Now Red Chase backing up right into the waiting arms of Equinox. As he will cut from the middle, Trauma for the trade, and he's now 3-0, looking just to hold down to this B bomb site by himself, essentially.
This dead silence is finding a lot of mileage in this round. Megatron is going to be up in the blue house, or underneath it, excuse me, going to be looking for anybody to try to get a little jiggy with it. That's why the bomb by Red Chase is planted where it is. It's definitely a very good post-plant setup. Crook has dead silence popped, is able to find Saucy onto the bomb site. It's just Jet remaining here, who was on the outside window, just waiting, and the knife kill sliced and diced. Kingsmen win that first offensive round. You definitely love to see it.
I've been seeing a lot of players pull out little cheeky angles where, yeah, typically speaking, you would just have your MP5 looking to hit fire. Well, just get the one-tap knife. The knife is strong, so nice little play there to finish things off. No problem. 2-0 for the Indianapolis Kingsmen, looking pretty solid so far of their first initial attempts, both defensively and offensively here on Orklov Peak. And my big question mark for Allied GG is, what do you do to respond? I mean, you didn't really get a chance to set up your offense on your first go, simply due to the fact that Megatron found the opening snipe, plus there was a Semtex kill, so this will be your first good look, and they're already paying a lot of respect to Megatron sniper rifles. All 5 members will start to make the play over to B.
Throwing out their tacticals, trying to find some information. Shots across mid-map. Paralysis getting tagged up is going to be able to trade it on back forward. Tagged up yet again, but it doesn't even matter. First blood and some more. Nick is right there to find Crook. Still a 1-player advantage. I say that, but Nick now for 2 in this round with a well-placed Semtex is able to take Paralysis, make that 3. Going to be able to open up things ever so slightly as the rotation from Kingsmen start rotating into the top side of Grandma's house. It's Megatron up there, is able to answer right on back into Equinox. He was carrying the bomb shift, so now you got to be really careful if you're Nick, considering on the other side of the missile launcher, you have Trauma right here with their AR just waiting for somebody to push on forward. It's going to be Nick that tries to push on back. Footsteps are muffled from the dead silence. Going to hop up top. Megatron's not there currently, already pushed over towards the other side. Megatron and Trauma looking to win this 2v2.
And they've got no idea where any of these players for Allied GG are. Trauma's just hoping he gets killed. Megatron gets the pistol up onto Nick. That probably shouldn't happen, and then Trauma's angle does get it rewarded for the free kill. And the Kingsmen will survive through this third round and put themselves up 3-0. And this is just Trauma hoping that on the other side, Megatron wins that first fight, and as soon as he does, okay, well, I'll just sit here and play for what will surely be a B hit. A nice little response there for the Indianapolis Kingsmen, up very convincingly here 3-0. Now you go into the fourth round with Allied GG being completely stuffed out on multiple elements of this search. They haven't found a snipe yet. They haven't found any success offensively. And they've also been beat up a little bit in their B defense. So a lot of guessing, I'm sure, is going on right now in the comms for Allied GG.
Throughout the entirety of this very unfortunate pandemic in the world, hope you're staying safe wherever you may be at. Kingsmen have been playing a lot of S&D tournaments. You can see that coming through here on their Arcloft peak and their setups, their rotations. Absolutely amazing. And speaking of both of that, Bomb started poking in towards the outside. Red Chase is going to start pushing themselves back mid-map. Trauma looking for anybody to start pushing through on the outside of the trench side. If anybody's going to get there soon, it's going to be Saucy. This is all while Red Chase is starting to push on forward, along with Paralysis inside Grandma's house. You can only imagine that this dual hit's going to end up coming through. Nobody looking at the bomb to be planted. Not quite yet. It's Equinox that stops that from happening. Red Chase goes down. Paralysis tries to start chasing that, is able to pick up the bomb in the process. I believe that they should have started committing towards that plant, but they're just going to go ahead and back out, and this could come back to bite them in the rear, considering that Jet could be on the chase. They're not, actually. They're just going to end up hunkering on down. This allows Paralysis to rotate mid-map on the other side of the door. He's able to get the gun up in time. God. Saucy, you got to win that one, bud.
Yeah, absolutely do. That's all he's looking for. He's a player coming through that side door. Paralysis just gets the gun up in time. Snipe goes just a touch awry. And now Megatron looks to find his counterpart in Nick. Time is ticking away, but the bomb will be planted just in the nick of time. Nick tossing a nade, but he doesn't cook it at all first, so that shouldn't find much value, and it doesn't. Equinox is able to take care of Crook, though, so with that, it's going to be now just a 3-on-3. Equinox is forced to find another trade, which he does. But Trauma still being a nuisance. Equinox is locking things down. That's 4 for him in the round. It's going to be a 2v1. Megatron by himself will be smoked out. I believe he's looking for another weapon, but he's got to guess to see where was that bomb planted, and he won't find the kill. And Equinox will find essentially the ace. All 5 kills going his way as Allied GG take their first defensive round.
Absolutely stellar rotation there from Kingsman, able to turn that back after the bomb was literally on top of the bomb site over by Grandma's house, and then rotating all the way back over to the trenches. I mean, if Paralysis doesn't win that 1v1 inside the middle of that map, definitely looking at a much faster round win for the defensive side of Allied GG. However, it was a fantastic smoke, an answer on back towards that rotation to be able to shut down Megatron, who's been finding their value all the way through this entirety of S&D Arcloft Peak with their sniper. You still have Saucy as yet to be able to find a kill, but when Equinox and multiple members of Allied GG are able to turn their life into kills, you're going to be able to find at least round victories. And Kingsmen are definitely outslaying, but on defense, they might have to take a little bit of an early rotation. It's going to be a hard hit here for Allied GG. Over towards the B-bomb site. Door has been popped open. Multiple dead silences being popped on the opposing side. That's Jet that finds first blood. It means that Saucy's going to start sticking this plant. It's actually going to be able to find this plant, I believe so. Jet getting mileage off their dead silence, able to push upstairs, finds Red Chase as well. More kills coming on forward. Kingsmen are dropping like flies. It's just Trauma and Crook back to win a 2v5. Jet just pushing on forward. That's third in this round. They are finding a lot of value.
Just down to Crooked if we can get his POV. It's going to be a 1v5. He's got to find a defuse. This round is just about over. I mean,
100%.
At a certain point, you feel like you just got to go try to make a play. You don't want all these dead silences to be charging up for your opponent. He will take down Jet. That's one way of dealing with his dead silence, but it looks like he's going to be pushed from behind. He will find the second. Gone over, trying to get a little fancy with maybe a knife kill, but Crooked is not going to be sitting here getting embarrassed today, but the bomb will still be destroyed, and the third kill will not come through for Andrew Crooked, as this time will expire, and the target obviously being destroyed will lead to 2 straight rounds for Allied GG going to round 6.
Allied GG, slowly yet surely, able to answer on back, finding a good offensive round victory, able to get some gas in the tank along the way. Megatron going to be sticking along with their sniper as well. Currently sitting at 4-2. I believe only It's 2 kills for the sniper, 2 kills for their pistol. Red Chase, though, dedicated bomb carrier. Yet to find a kill. Completely understandable as the life that they have been leading thus far. Multiple tacticals and tags coming across the board. Kingsmen are hard committing towards this trench side. It is going to be well responded by Ally GG, and Megatron sticking into the scope a little bit too long is going to get taken on down by Jet's AR. Saucy's right there to find Red Chase as well. Paralysis. No dead silence popped. It's going to start peeking around this trench side. See a player and their gunshots to come through. Great shots there, right on the Saucy. At least evening things up as far as numbers are concerned, but you got to somehow retrieve the bomb and plant it.
Kill will come through. Fur to the side of, I think that's Trauma, hard to tell. And now it's going to be down to Kingsman for numbers, 2v1. And, well, Equinox is going to do what he can here by the backside of the A bomb site. Time ticking away, 20 seconds. Bomb will be planted. And now the Kingsmen just essentially going to sit in post-plant positions and look for a trade. It's the best they possibly can. Equinox, he's found one. Looking for the second, jumps over the top. He guessed the correct angle, but does not predict how close he was going to be. And the Circle City Kingsmen here coming back through, finding themselves a response round up 4-2.
Good movement. This player has had that quite some time, is able to find that last kill. And, well, going on forward. At least still 2 rounds up here for the Kingsmen, putting themselves one step closer to evening things up since that hardpoint loss on Hackney Yard. Search and Destroy, treating the boys from Concord pretty well. Apart from Red Chase, again, just dying, trying to make their way to a bomb site every single time. And even on defense as well. And Ally GG, gonna start committing back towards the trench side. 2 players are committed over towards the B-bomb site, but with that lethal coming on forward shift, that's a lot of information. Megatron is able to get the scope up in time, but it's traded back.
Numbers for LIGG and the Zay attack. One of their first good attempts that they've had so far on offense towards this bomb site. Smoke will cover a lot of the line of sight for what you would figure would be long range from the hostile, but nobody's there actually. For the side of the Kingsmen, they're actually all on top of the bomb site for the most part. Paralysis is not too far back. Red Chase going to find a flag potentially, but Allied GG do have a couple of players at least tuned into the fact that this could be happening. As you see, number 4 is gone over. He's going to sit over and watch the backside. And just if we can get Red Chase's perspective, he's going to be working his way back to the top. He's number 9. He's found 1. He finds 2. Will be tagged up, but the damage might have already been dealt. With those 2 kills coming through, the Kingsmen will have the numbers and the presence over the A bomb site, and that'll be a second straight round for them, now up 5-2.
Yeah, map point, nevertheless, that flank coming through from Red Chase, well timed, but look at these kills from Paralysis, just bunny hopping on forward, able to connect with 2 with a stockless MP5. Very well done for the Kingsmen here on S&D. And if there's anything that they feel more comfortable on as of late, it's definitely this game mode. Now going to have to win things out here on offense. If not, at least save yourself until the next round where you can comfortably win on defense, perhaps. Red Chase with that flank is able to find their first 2 kills, and that really turned Ally GG around. I mean, they even had multiple people looking at that angle and was still able to find value in it, too, getting their gun up in time. Going to be a commitment towards the outside. Going to be rotating towards the backside. Red Chase is actually going to come back mid-map. It's going to hop back over, misses the jump to try to jump through the window, but it's going to be well scouted out. Equinox will be traded out. Paralysis is able to find that trade. But that's a lot of information given on over, and while Ally GG are going to be looking for the potential post-plant setup, if not, try to find Red Chase as they're planting the bomb. Coming back around mid-map there is Crook. Megatron, still with that AX-50, is able to find Saucy. It's now gone over Killer.
Look. Kingsmen have sent 3 members outside towards the snowpath, which is where Megatron found that pick. You're just relying on Crooked and Paralysis to essentially duo up on the back end. He's going to start swinging back over to the middle. Does get cut down by Jet. The retake potentially coming through for Allied G. Crooked going to very politely open the door at first, then barge his way through it. Megatron has found another kill in the back.
1 or 2, completely controlled and dominated by those subs. You're definitely looking towards that mid-map pressure, especially that boiler room. I'm looking for either of these members to really put a member inside there and cause a lot of firm chaos inside the boiler room as well. Definitely for this player right here, Crooked. Definitely the player with the MP5 is going to be able to find Jet. That's the first kill in the entirety of the game. Going to completely hunger themselves up inside the boiler room. Two players from LIGG are trying to push themselves in, though, from the opposing side over by the dark of coal mines. Megatron is going to be right there to find Equinox.
Opening trades will lead to a pretty even battle over the B side, but Crooks on 4 straight. Red Chase watching overhead will find another paralysis. Will find the 5th and final kill needed. Crooks on 5 straight, 5-0 for him. An electric start, and now all of a sudden with the B flag flip, they're going to make sure that nobody's hitting over to C, and this might be their best look to try to go for an early neutralization of that A flag if they can continue to slay like this.
They're not going to be pushing on forward, though, anytime soon. You see those 4 kills coming up here. Jet for 2, Equinox for 2 as well. Now trying to get a little bit of B flag pressure. They're going to be able to get it, so now LIGG going to be able to breathe a little bit comfortably. This is going to come down to Jet now, pushing the OE over by this forklift towards the munitions depot. Is going to put themselves on towards C, trying to get a little bit of spawn flip action happening. Crooks going to be right there to be able to stop that from happening. Going to be putting themselves right back through showers. Going to be running into Nick here for sometime soon. Trying to go back for the boiler room control. Gun overkill is actually able to find a knife kill on a paralysis. More knife kills galore. You definitely love to see it. But this is all while Indianapolis Kingsmen are trying to force their way in towards the B flag. This is going to be another opportunity for Jet to try to push on forward. Get snapped on crooked. However, Trauma's right there for the trade. A lot of kills for LIGG.
That was the B leading to a pretty successful attempt at the B flag. Gone over. He's signed himself another kill with a little bit extra under Red Chase. It's still a marginal lead for the Indianapolis Kingsmen. They're definitely not out of the work here when it comes to dealing with this potential push with the Kingsmen over towards B. But the good thing here about LIGG is just look at how they're set up. You're taking a look at number 7 and Nick. He's actually playing through the control room where he can essentially set up a little bit of a pitch. Gone over to just keep running circles through the middle of the map. And this is where a spawn trap starts to occur in a little bit. They've done the right thing on one side of the map by pushing through this C flag, or pardon me, through the B flag over towards the C side of the map. The only thing that they have not done is work a solo player over through bathrooms in this. So it's going to be interesting to see if they continue to try to move this way forward, as there will be a tie game here in the next 5 seconds and an eventual lead swap in favor of LIGG.
That's right. LIGG turning a multitude of kills into a lot of map pressure. Nick is on 5 straight. They're at 7 and 4. They're going to be that individual to try to enforce themselves onto C. Able to turn around in time, but won't be able to get their gun up in time to beat out Trauma towards the shower side. Gone overkill is still alive, still on 3 straight, 12 and 5. They currently are residing at. Megatron's right there for 2. Now the Kingsmen, you're able to find a certain series of kills. They're definitely taking the right rotation on forward through the coal mines. However, player number 7, that's Nick, inside the boiler room, is able to play out their life for the time being. Crooked is going to be right there to turn that down. They definitely like that boiler room control. How about we get 3 from Crooked this time around before they end up getting gunned down there at 11 and 6 for this first half.
Flag staying neutral, though, for the time being. Red Chase doing what he can for the top side of that heady on the mine carts. Megatron pinching things up in the middle, finds 2, looking for a 3rd. Jet takes care of him, but the trade is there, and that'll be the B flag secured again by the Indianapolis Kingsmen. And with 1 minute and 15 seconds to play with, this will surely be another lead swap that's going to come through if the status stays the way it currently is. LIGG sending a lot of players through coal, but they're not clearing out the middle of the map, and that's the big kind of dissuading part of what they've been able to do here at B. Trauma not able to find the gunfight versus Nick, and that'll be enough for them now to find favor mid-map. And with this, they're actually going to send Jet through the bathroom towards C for a neutral. Red Chase wins a huge 1v1 to keep it from being fully flipped. And with that, we will still see a CB hold for the Indianapolis Kingsmen.
Yeah, this is really good too. Megatron took off respawn, put themselves back in towards the boiler room, so that way no players can really get a little bit too big for their britches. Gone Overkill is going to try to be that pest again towards the C side. However, all the spawns from the previous set of kills, LIGG are spawning over by the warehouse. Now they're going to try to go for another hit towards B. Megatron with an MP5 is not going to be able to get their gun up in time. Red Chase is on the opposing side, however. Pinstripe kill feed now favoring towards Indianapolis Kingsmen. They're able to solidify the CB hold. Now they have the point lead by 3.
And with the last 10 seconds coming to be, the Kingsmen look like they are going to hold on to their CB hold. So that should be, let's see here, another 6-point lead. 76-82 the score. and the Kingsmen do hold on to kind of recorrect some of those mid-half mistakes that they were kind of finding themselves being thrown around in the middle of the map, mostly by LIGG just having a couple of special moments. But this is the opening from Crooked as he went on 5 straight just to start. Everything coming his way, and we only saw 3 of the 5. Shame on you, play of the game. But now that we go into the second half, we're going to see what exactly these guys have to offer from the A side, because again, we saw that they like to keep the pressure from the C side of the map, and I'm almost wondering, if you remember back when we watched this Concord team, this Indianapolis Kingsmen team back in the day, they would full flood from A to C early to get an early spawn flip, but that will not be the case here. They'll be happy with their A flag and send 2 players to B, but this is a different hit, though, for the Kingsmen, as they send 1 player mid-map, and the other one will actually push towards the outside of Cardinal containers, and with that, Trauma's going to find an early neutralization of the C flag.
It's going to be really big here. Still have player number 4 over on the backside. That's Trauma playing out their life. However, going to get snapped on by Gone Overkill, and that's really, really emphatic, considering that there could have been a lot of damage found earlier on for the Kingsmen. LIGG currently sitting at C and B for their flags currently. Now only playing back from 8. Red Chase is able to combine for 3 before they end up getting gunned down by, or hit down by the Semtex from Jet. In a good position they are currently sitting at. Finds Paralysis trying to go towards the boiler room. Now only a 6-point lead again. Indianapolis Kingsmen trying to answer on back off the respawns, getting gunned all the way to high heaven from that warehouse going on forward. It's Trauma and Paralysis trying to find any sort of value, but Nick's going to be right there to shut it down as well as Equinox.
Spawn flip coming through here as LIGG pushes across the middle of the map and gets a neutralization and a capture at A. And with that, the Kingsmen actually find a little bit of favor here because they got a natural pinch through the middle of the map by Boiler, and Paralysis picking up 2, Crooked and Trauma finding another will actually lead to a B flip while they secured the C flag. Trauma has to frantically work his way back through bathrooms to make sure this doesn't go fully neutral. He finds Gone Over from behind. That'll be enough for them to re-neutralize and re-secure the C flag. And honestly speaking, I think that's could have been the best thing that happened to the Kingsmen. They've been looking better on the C side of the map, and they say thanks very much for our stronger side.
Yes, thank you indeed. Crook, however, is currently left alone. Megatron's going to come by way of Dark. Crooked doesn't really care. You put Crooked inside this boiler, and they're just going to find a multi to close. 23-11, 4 straight for them. They are starting to turn this into a payload of value. Now the LIGG members are spawning in and out of the warehouse. Crooked pushing right into their spawns is looking to be that pest. Nick is going to be able to shut them down. But what a lot of value that Indianapolis Kingsmen has able to turn this into. Paralysis looking to continue on with that pest mentality. However, cutting past the mid-map, another spawn flip comes through back and by over by the train cars. They're actually going to put player that's number 9, Jet, to go back over towards B flag. They have a lot of assistance, but no player going to try to flip over towards the C flag. They're okay with this because the B flag has been neutralized for the time being until Crooked comes back in, says, get off my flag, this is my home territory. Equinox is there for the trade, but it's Red Chase and Megatron for a big play coming on forward to keep this B flag in Kingsman's favor.
Fourth quarter coming into play, a lead for the Indianapolis Kingsmen that might just be too much for LIGG to fully come back against. They're going to need to find the B flag and likely a couple of moments of neutralization just based on how the pace of this game has been mostly dictated by the Kingsmen. Again, a lot of extra pressure to the middle of the map here for LIGG, which is what you want, but you gotta win your gunfights. Trauma for 2, Paralysis the 3rd, and that'll be another wipe coming in. And take a look at number 5, Paralysis. This is where, from the C side of the map, you can get a little bit of spawn trap coming through. He's got an AR to watch the cross out of boxes. Well, he doesn't win his first gunfight, but he's got a help from Crooked, who will find 2. And again, look at all the pressure that allows for. Red Chase moves us through the bottom side of green. Trauma follows up to clean up the pieces. And now they can go for essentially an opportunity to neutralize. This is where, again, a lot of people say that from the A side of the map, oh, it's just so much easier to get a spawn flip and easier to get a neutralization of C because you can find the spawn trap in the backside of the water tower. You can do the same thing from the C side, and the Kingsmen are showing exactly that.
Absolutely. I mean, the coal mine's absolutely a good area to be able to showcase that. You have a lot of headies that you could be playing around with. Paralysis putting a little bit of extra sauce on the side there, answering back from the body shots earlier on. And well, call the time of death there, Dr. Shift. I believe that it is too far gone going on forward. Kingsmen are going to be able to get this map win. They're going to be able to put themselves up in the map series off of that hard point deficit they are starting to bounce on back from the 6-2 win on Arkloff Peak. Here on the Domination Gunrunner, they have looked fantastic.
Look, the simple fact of the matter is a lot of good teams get beat up on Hackney Yard because the map I'm just going to be candid. It shouldn't be in the competitive rotation. It's not a good map for Hardpoint, and it's so difficult for a good team to play perfectly because of the simple fact that if you don't have the second Hardpoint off the rip, you're typically already down 60 points. So it's just so tough because we talked about those decisions that you essentially can or cannot make depending on where you are. But for the Kingsmen, they just were not. I mean, again, there were two big moments for the Kingsmen. Number one, they didn't really do a good job of getting that third to fourth hardpoint rotation. They kept funneling into the offense. They got killed a little bit too easily. Allied GG was able to take care of that hill without much problem for the break. And then the second thing was the end of the game. They go for the P+. Kingsman team likes to play with speed. They like to play with tempo. So if they can find a way to use that just built into their rotations, it'll hopefully keep them on the front foot from their side of the corner as best as possible. From the opposite side, though, for Allied, they are going to be tasked with breaking through the first hard point and the pursuit of the second spawns, which is going to be, again, hopefully right behind that billiards room. And Crooked will start off with an opening double kill. Megatron for the third, and that's going to be the first hit. The LIG guys essentially thwarted in its place.
And as well, you go back to the previous point as well. Like, the second that this team starts warming up, they start feeling the hot hand shift. We know these kids. They are confident and scary beyond belief. And so, with that going forward, Crooked starting off with a three kills in that previous life as well. They're going to be able to at least set themselves up comfortably with 17 seconds, but still enforcing their spawns. Still spawning in the backside. There is Red Chase. Still anchoring the spawns for P2. All of the members now, Indianapolis Kingsmen, are going to start putting in one member after another, potentially be looking for some exit frags. You're more or less looking for this player number 6 in Nick to find a lot of value breaking on forward into the tram station. They're going to be met here. However, it's Nick on the opposing side is able to find Trauma, unable to get their gun up in time. Megatron, Paralysis, Red Chase combined for 3, holding the spawns thus far inside the billiards room and over by P2. Now the hit for Allied GG has to come through the waterway.
And Paralysis is already there. He's read this timing very well. He's going to get taken out. Caught over, finds a second. That's on a Megatron. So an opportunity here for Allied GG to work through the hotel and the blue square simultaneously for what is hopefully going to be a multi-dimensional hit for the break. Jet going to get stunned and challenged, but he still wins the fight. What a gunfight win that is for Jet. He got tagged up by a nade. He was stunned. He was flashed. He was asked out to dinner by an ugly girl at lunch, and I don't know what's going on, but he's still finding kills. 2 streams for him, 7-3. Nothing is swaying this guy off in this game. But unfortunately, Allied GG not able to fully break until they finally get the spawns, and that's going to be now an official break of the second hard point.
Oh, man. Crooked's right there, however, and Antron back to 3 off of this life. 7-3 they currently are starting off here, heading in towards P3, and there are those influential spawns. They're okay with giving up that scrap time. It's only just under 20 points for the lead that Allied GG currently hold over. Well, now Kingsmen with a very good setup, going to be met with a handful of isolated 1v1s, make that Nick being able to find at least 2. Now Allied GG have a grand opportunity to push on forward through the hazmat building, over top as well as the waterway, to try to turn these kills back in their favor. Caught mid-sprint, however, is overkill by Crooked. Jet's right there again, being able to snuff that one out. In control of the hard point. Still, our Indianapolis Kingsmen as the hit tries to follow up here for Allied GG, and well, Jets is probably looking around and be like, how many do I have to find, y'all? There's gonna have to be more, considering that Indianapolis Kingsmen are still holding on to this hard point.
And 9-5 for Jet. 9 and not to be outdone though. Crooked is at 10-4 as he comes back through to find a kill on the potential rotation to go from 3 to 4. Megatron also at 10-7 is a good stat line for him to be at. But you can see Allied GG, this is very good understanding for them. They're keeping all of their members out forward through the Lion statue, past that proverbial 50-yard line, to zone away the Kingsmen from ever getting close to this P4 early. And again, this is going to kill so much time off the clock for the Kingsmen on their rotation. They're still going to be spawning all the way back out towards the backside of this tram yard. And with that, the first 20 seconds are going to go relatively uncontested for Allied GG, idolizing the exact setup that you want here on P4. Good understanding, good control, and now it just comes down to finding the kills as the Kingsmen are trying to break through P1.
Yeah, spawns from P1 like Shift was talking about coming on forward. The pins, the shots from Red Chase are good over top of the pool table. And now a little bit of a late hit going towards that scrap time. Allied GG are spawning over by P2. Player number 0 that's gone overkill is going to just try their best to find any sort of frags whatsoever. Very late hit. Jets starting to waltz back into this point. Probably just potential to try another spawn out. But as Indianapolis Kingsmen are still finding a payload of kills, you can see Allied GG are still spawning in over by P2. And along with Megatron coming in through the restaurant side, joined by Paralysis. Crooked right there gets a snap on the neck with their dead silence intact. And then Indianapolis Kingsmen are in firm control of this map. Equinox is right there to finally put Crooked down. But at 17-8, my goodness, man.
And I'm interested to see, just keep your eye just passively on what number 3 does. Red Chase is all the way in the backside of the map. We don't need his perspective, but just see exactly how he wants to move here from the backside of Billiard. And he's going to find essentially nothing because he gets naded from Jet, but he actually keeps his allied GG team away from coming. Trauma lines up 4 through the back door. Oh, buddy, that hit was not successful at all for Allied GG, but again, give some credit to Red Chase for funneling all of Allied GG to deal with them. There's only one place they could be hitting. It's from the back door, and Drama punishes him. He's at 5 straight.
Yeah, Red Chase playing the Border Collie, hurting all of Allied GG into a funnel to where Trauma was able to piece together multiple. My God, they are looking stellar here on St. Petro hardpoint shit. We may not have seen them played in a while, but they seem to have knowledge behind this map all through and through. Crooked at 21-9. You got Megatron at 17-13. Sure, Trauma and Red Chase, if you have to break over 10 kills, they don't really have many engagements. That's just because all the kills are just being yoinked away from them. Right, Trauma's right there to find another 2 to join along with Paralysis to equate to 4. But it'll be with a 100-point lead, heading in towards this, or it's halfway through the second rotation, back on a P1. Indianapolis Kingsmen, they can win it out here on the second rotation of hard points. Yes, Allied GG are currently holding on to the spawns over by the billiards room, but keep your eye on player number 1. That's Megatron. They are currently working their way through the restaurant side, as well as Red Chase, playing the OE over by the hotel side, and now trying to find themselves a little bit of a pinch going forward. Allied GG are focused on P1. They're able to get control of that scrap time, but you gotta worry about the backside.
And this is exactly how you want to set this up for the Kingsmen. You funnel yourself immediately into this blue square. You've got the opportunity to watch the exit from 1, plus you have a good angle to watch players coming from the backside of the billiards room, and Crooked Megatron Paralysis find a 3-for-1 trade. Red Chase will watch Saucy go right on by, but he's been tagged up, and the information is good. Paralysis will deal with 1 and a second. And now Red Chase is going to sit up here. Again, he's only found 19 interactions, which doesn't seem like a lot, but where he's putting himself in the map is allowing the Kingsmen to essentially rotate and use it as a pivot point. Equinox looking for a 180 spin on, but he's not going to find the initial. So goes for the double challenge and will get the kill onto Crooked. And with that, the Allied GG boys have held on to the P2 spawn and the majority of this opening time.
30 seconds left on P2. Trying to get the hit on coming forward from the ADOM flag. Crooked will be able to find Equinox. Paralysis and Red Chase coming back in are going to be able to find a little bit of a late break. 20 seconds left here on the hill. And well, if you're Allied GG, you don't really want them to have all of that time, but you really got to worry about the rotation going over to P3. Megatron and Crooked right there to combine again for 3. Make Trauma right there for 4. And along with the spawns to go on the backside of the waterway, Paralysis is going to start putting themselves over by the CDOM flag where it normally resides and really make Allied GG run for their money, and they are going to have a tough time breaking in towards this hill. Indianapolis Kingsmen look to win it here.
Red Chase is the last line of defense here through the middle of the map, though, so the spawns for the Kingsmen will actually not fully be where you'd go to expect them. It's in that tight little corner on the bottom left-hand side of your mini map. So they're going to have to scramble to deal with this riverfront hit from Allied GG. Paralysis will just say, all right, I got you, Shift, no worries. He finds all 3 kills outside. Red Chase another. That's a 5-man wipe down. Indianapolis Kingsmen now just 12 seconds away from putting this one done. Red Chase up close and personal. Doesn't actually finish the first kill. Got a little bit, maybe too saucy with the attempt on the Saucy. Gone over, trying to work his way in, but it's Nick who actually clears out the point. But it's not enough actually for a full flip, as you're seeing still the Kingsmen spawning in. So one more good attempt here. If they can just find a way to break for a couple of seconds, with the game still here. But maybe easier said than done, as the time hasn't been fully contested.
Oh my God.
250, 128 in a rather lopsided St. Petro hardpoint.